Yes, Corey's CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it. CIA.
Not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble, 100%. Not in the blue, the one right behind him.
Kanye posted a picture of Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's longtime boyfriend. The caption reads, "God has a plan to remove the godless. Corey needed to never be here anyway."
Have you noticed how every 6 months or so, Kanye West ends up being right about something? Well, this time, we're shining a spotlight on how Kanye was way ahead of the curve when he exposed Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble and his ties to Diddy, long before all these Diddy allegations hit the headlines. You really want to stick around for this one because it turns out Corey might be one of those celebrity handlers with ties to government agencies, which would also explain his ties to Diddy. After all, Kanye called out Diddy's connection to the feds long before folks even understood what he was talking about.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my coat up.
So turns out that Diddy and Corey's relationship runs deeper than just being acquaintances. Not only was Corey the first one on the scene when Diddy's ex Kim Porter suddenly passed, but there has it that Diddy may have also used Corey as a means to reach Justin Bieber. But Kanye West is the only person who's been shouting from the rooftops about how sketchy Corey is. For years now, Kanye has been dropping hints left and right, expressing his concerns about Corey's character and the potential risks he poses. In fact, Kanye went as far as banning Corey from being around his children. Now, if that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. So what exactly is Kanye trying to tell us about Corey, and how are Corey and Kris Jenner connected to Diddy? Well, buckle up because we're about to break it all down.
I have a feeling this man, Corey Gamble, is going to be part of the industry fallout that is happening right now. Corey Gamble was so close with Kim Porter, so close to the point that he has said that he helped raise P. Diddy's children.
So Kris Jenner's boyfriend Corey Gamble is back in the spotlight over his apparent ties with Diddy, and some seriously bizarre details are starting to surface about Corey's shady past. Now, this man has been romantically linked to Kris Jenner for what feels like forever, and yet no one knows where he came from and what he was up to before he became Kris's boy toy. What's also crazy is that Corey seems to be connected to literally everyone in Hollywood. I mean, this man is regularly seen rubbing elbows with the likes of Diddy, Ellen DeGeneres, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, and even Prince Harry. Check out this clip from last year when Corey and Jay-Z were seen leading Beyonce to the car after a pre-Grammys party, and allegedly they were trying to stop the paparazzi from seeing Queen Bee under the influence.
Chill out. Sorry, Jay-Z. Sorry.
Like, why is Kris Jenner's boyfriend acting like Beyonce's bodyguard? And get this, Corey has also been spotted riding on the Carter's private jet. But here's the million-dollar question. What does Corey actually do? Well, there's been talk that Corey might be some kind of Hollywood handler. But here's where it gets juicy. Why would Corey bother with being a handler for other celebs when he's in a relationship with Kris Jenner, who's basically his walking ATM? Well, some speculate that there's more to his handler gig than meets the eye. Rumor has it that these handlers might have a more covert role, and they're rumored to be tied to government agencies. Case in point, Kanye's former personal trainer, Harley Pasternak, who was recently exposed for being part of Canadian intelligence prior to getting a job as a trainer to celebs.
And the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, are that like performance-enhancing drugs, or are they
all
just
kinds of drugs?
Oh, right, okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was, so I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things.
So according to various reports, these celebrity handlers aren't just your run-of-the-mill personal assistants. They're allegedly hired by the big shots in the industry to keep the stars in line, ensuring they toe the line and keep their lips sealed tight about any industry secrets, but also to push certain political agendas to their fans. So when Kanye called out his former personal trainer / handler Harley Pasternak, Harley threatened to have Kanye institutionalized. And that fact alone tells you what kind of power these handlers have. If Harley was just a personal trainer, do you think he would actually threaten his A-list client to medicate him and send him to Zombieland?
A trainer, but come to find out, he was actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars in California, right?
But according to Kanye, Harley is just one of many handlers operating in Hollywood. And when Kanye was airing out his grievances about Harley, he didn't stop there. He also expressed concern about handlers who are lurking around his family. And while he didn't drop any names that time, fans couldn't help but wonder if he was talking about Corey Gamble.
If Harley was part of intelligence, right, what kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that house right now?
Why Corey, you ask? Well, it turns out that Kanye has made it pretty clear in the past that he's not exactly thrilled about Corey being around his children. Flashback to the summer of 2020, when Kanye made headlines by escaping to his Wyoming ranch and claiming on Twitter that his wife, Kim Kardashian, and mother-in-law, Kris Jenner, were plotting to have him locked up under a 5150 psychiatric hold. And get this, in a follow-up tweet, Kanye called out both Kris and Corey, writing, "Kris, don't play with me. You and that call me are not allowed around my children. Y'all tried to lock me up." So fans initially speculated that the reason Kanye worried about Corey was because of Corey's lack of boundaries around the younger members of the Kardashian family. Like that time he said he would put his hands on Kourtney and Scott's daughter Penelope if she scratched him.
I'm whipping her ass, and I'll explain to y'all later.
What?
I would whip her ass.
You would whoop Penelope's ass if she scratched you?
I would give her a spanking for sure.
My daughter? What are you talking about?
Scratch me
You
in
would
my
whoop
face.
my daughter's ass if she touched you?
No, scratch me.
You would whip my daughter's ass.
Why not?
If she scratched you?
Why not?
A little 6-year-old girl?
That's
What are you talking about?
That's the problem.
Stop it.
Now, some folks were quick to jump to Corey's defense, arguing that perhaps Kourtney and Scott's kids were indeed a handful. However, Scott Disick later stepped in to set the record straight, explaining that regardless of Penelope's behavior, Corey had overstepped his bounds by even suggesting he had the authority to discipline someone else's children.
It wasn't like, if I was the nanny, this is what I would have done. If I was you as a parent, this is what I would have done. I said, I'm going to ask you again, do you mean you personally would actually do that and put hands and hurt my little daughter? I just want to understand that. And he said, hell yeah, I would.
It's truly insane to witness the sheer audacity of Corey to act like some sort of authority figure to Scott and Kourtney's kids. It's almost as shocking as witnessing Harley Pasternak threatening to institutionalize Kanye. But you know what's also wild? That incident wasn't the only instance of Corey acting strange around the younger members of the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Fans have also been buzzing about Corey's alleged obsession with Kylie Jenner because he's been caught more than once giving Kylie these lingering looks.
I'm gonna put just like glittery pink in the middle.
And if our mom expects
Honestly,
any commission out of this, she should have been here.
But see, Kanye was onto Corey way back in 2019, and he called him out for acting sketchy and refusing to introduce his own family to the Kardashians.
Kanye texted Corey something really rude. Kanye was like, I think it's weird, like we've never met his family.
But here's the kicker. Kris wasn't having any of it. She went full on defense mode and pointed fingers at her own family, accusing them of planting negative thoughts about Corey in Kanye's mind. It's like she was trying to deflect any criticism away from Corey before people started digging deeper into Corey's background. However, Kanye didn't stop there. Back in 2022, Kanye came for Corey again, and this time he had a lot more to say. Kanye posted a photo of Corey on his Instagram and went off on him in the caption, calling him godless, and get this, he even brought up his connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber. God has a plan to remove the godless Corey, Kanye said, needed to never be here anyway. Kanye then mentioned Corey's sketchy past, implying that he's a paid handler, and wrote, a nice person who used to be around Puff's family, then got around Justin Bieber, and then when Kris got divorced, he slid in. Kanye also revealed that he once personally removed Corey from his daughter's birthday party and added, we still never met his family, and I guess we never will. And then Yes suggested that Corey is the one who got Kim linked with the liberals in a deep way, and added that he always felt Corey worked for the government or some shady corporation like the chemical company DuPont. Now, you know how Kanye always says something that sounds like the most outrageous mess you've ever heard, and then a few years down the line, it ends up being true. Well, it looks like this might be yet another example of Ye being proven right. So what did Kanye mean by Corey getting Kim linked with liberals in a deep way? Well, first of all, Kim Kardashian publicly endorsed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, and Hillary happens to have ties with DuPont. Here's how. Ellen Coleman, who was the CEO of DuPont from 2009 to 2015, suddenly resigned in October 2015, just months before the 2016 Democratic primary. And then in June 2016, she endorsed Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Oh, and by the way, Ellen Coleman and Hillary Clinton share the same stylist, Nina McLemore, who specializes in pantsuits for corporate women. Now let's talk about Corey Gamble's connection to all this. So the first sketchy part is that you will have a very hard time finding any info online about Corey's background. He doesn't have a Wikipedia page, and there's literally nothing on the internet about his family. We don't even know for sure where he was born, although some websites claim he grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, according to this article by Cosmopolitan, Corey studied business marketing at Morehouse College in Atlanta, and after graduation, he started working at Scooter Braun's entertainment and marketing company SB Projects. And as you probably know, Scooter later became Justin Bieber's manager. But here's where it gets even sketchier. According to Corey's profile on Kardashian's wiki, he was born on November 10th, 1980, so that makes him only 7 months older than Scooter Braun, who was born on June 18th, 1981. Now, Scooter's Wikipedia says he founded SB Projects in 2007 when he was 26. This means that in 2007, Corey was also 25 or 26. However, that Cosmopolitan article claimed Corey started working at Scooter's company right after graduation. So either Corey graduated really late or he worked somewhere else for a few years after graduation before he infiltrated the entertainment business. Of course, it's all pure speculation at this point, but you gotta admit something doesn't line up. Also, for some reason, there is no information on Corey's LinkedIn about his year of graduation and employment history. By the way, that Cosmopolitan article on Corey was published almost immediately after another video of Kanye leaked where he was seen talking to someone on the phone and claiming that he knows for a fact that Corey works for the CIA. It's almost like they scrambled to get a head start in explaining who Corey is and where he came from.
Yes, Corey's CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it. CIA.
Now remember we mentioned Hillary Clinton's connection to DuPont. Well, turns out Hillary also has close ties with Scooter Braun. In fact, in 2015, Scooter hosted a Hillary Clinton fundraiser at his home in LA. So at that time, Corey was reportedly still working for Scooter, and just a few months before that fundraiser, he met Kris Jenner in Ibiza at a birthday party for fashion designer Riccardo Tisci. And guess who also attended this party besides Corey and Kris? Both Diddy and Justin Bieber. Mind you, Kanye was married to Kim at the time, and they were also at the party, which means Kanye had a front row seat to all these industry shenanigans going on behind the scenes. So anyway, the same year Corey met Kris at this party in Ibiza, the media started referring to Corey as Justin Bieber's manager, tour manager, and co-manager. It seemed like they couldn't agree on what to call him, and no one really knew what Corey's job was and why he was always hanging out with Justin. But y'all, are you ready to hear something even crazier? So word on the story is that Corey is deeply involved with Diddy and has been for years. Some sources have even speculated that Corey is Diddy's cousin, and while we can't confirm that for sure, we know for a fact that he's been part of Diddy's inner circle for years. And get this, besides Diddy, Corey was one of the first people at the scene when Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, died under very mysterious circumstances in 2018.
How am I just now finding out that not only was Corey Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house after 911 was called. Am I crazy? That's Corey Gamble, 100%. Not in the blue, the one right behind him. Like, I don't even have a theory. I'm just confused. And we're going to talk about this in the deep dive. But Kim Porter, when she passed away, there was obviously discrepancies in police reports versus coroner reports. Another thing we know for a fact is P. Diddy had her entire home wired with audio listening devices and video cameras. Was her passing caught on camera? Does Diddy have footage of Kim Porter passing away? I just don't get it. How has this man been everywhere, have connections with everyone, but he is really only known as Kris Jenner's boyfriend?
Besides that, both Corey and Kris have been spotted at Diddy's parties many times over the years. By the way, when Diddy threw a party to celebrate what would have been Kim Porter's 50th birthday 2 years after she died, Corey was there and he shared a throwback photo of him and Kim on Instagram, writing, "Happy birthday, Kim Porter. I will always continue to thank you for all you and Diddy did for my life." As for Kanye, he obviously knew about Corey's connection to Diddy, which is why he mentioned in that post that Corey used to be around Puff's family. Now, this connection between Corey, Diddy, and Justin Bieber honestly seems so sinister, especially when you take into account how there's been a lot of speculation lately that Diddy may have done something horrific to Justin. Several disturbing videos are currently making the rounds on social media showing Diddy acting weird around Justin, and fans have been speculating that Diddy used the same MO on Justin that he allegedly used on Usher years back at his Puffy Flavor camp. There's this infamous video recorded when 15-year-old Justin was sent to spend 48 hours living with Diddy, and no one ever bothered to explain what the purpose of this hangout was.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
And then another video started making the rounds showing Diddy and Justin about a year after that 48-hour hangout. This time, Diddy is shown questioning Justin why they stopped hanging out together, and Justin looks downright terrified of Diddy.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Tell you my number.
Yeah.
As you can see, Justin's behavior in this video is completely opposite from that 48-hour video where he looks so innocent and genuinely excited to hang out with Diddy. In this video, recorded just a year later, he looks completely traumatized. And now, in light of all these new allegations about Diddy, 2 more videos of Justin popped up on the internet, and they're seriously creepy. The first one shows Diddy giving Justin a pat down, like he's checking to make sure he isn't wearing any recording devices. And as you watch, pay attention to how Justin keeps glancing down and avoids making eye contact with Diddy. You don't need to be a body language professional to see that Justin is clearly feeling intimidated and scared of this man. But wait, it gets even crazier. There's this other video floating around of Justin hanging out with Diddy's friends Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr., who, by the way, have both faced some messed up allegations in the past. So in this video, Justin appears like he's on something while partying with Trey and OBJ. And then there's a moment where well, let's just say it looks pretty wild. I won't even try to describe it because it's too much for YouTube, but I'll let you check it out and decide for yourself. Now, some people are speculating that Justin was just indulging in a little nose candy in this clip. However, others pointed out the way Odell moves his hands after Justin gets up, and let's just say it looks like they might have been up to something else entirely. Now, circling back to Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble's connection to Diddy, as I already mentioned, these two were regular guests at Diddy parties. In fact, both Kris and Corey still follow Diddy on Instagram. But get this, Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy just 24 hours before his houses in LA and Miami were raided by Homeland Security last month. So after looking at all these facts, you really can't deny there's something very sketchy about Corey Gamble. So when you take into account Kanye's recent comments about Corey being CIA and Corey's connection to Diddy, you really can't help but wonder if Corey is much more than just Kris Jenner's boyfriend. Either way, the truth always comes out eventually, so it's only a matter of time until we learn who Corey Gamble really is. As for fans, they have their own theories, and let's just say most of them are taking Kanye's side on this one. One fan said, "Remember that clip clip where Kanye is ranting and calling Corey Gamble a CIA handler, it really all just sort of paints a pretty insane picture when you look at the timelines and the connections. And another one added, they will never admit Kanye was right. He rants and it sounds absolutely nuts to people who aren't in the industry. Now Kanye is canceled and crazy. Nah, they could never make me hate ya. But let's hear your thoughts on Corey Gamble and his connection to Diddy. Do you think Corey and Kris both knew about Diddy's alleged crimes? Drop your comments below and don't miss out on this next video.